What's up, Wrestle Scope Nation? And hold on, before you even think about scrolling past this video, you need to hear what just went down on SmackDown that has the entire wrestling world in absolute chaos right now. I'm talking about a moment so shocking, so controversial, so absolutely mind-blowing that WWE might actually be trying to bury the footage as we speak. We're talking about Brock Lesnar. Yes, the Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, the man who has dominated WWE for over 2 decades, getting absolutely destroyed, humiliated, and left laying in the middle of that ring by someone most casual fans have never even heard of. And here's the real kicker that's going to make your blood boil. WWE is treating this like it's just another Tuesday. No special graphics, no breaking news alerts, no emergency press conferences. They're trying to sweep this under the rug, and I'm about to tell you exactly why. Hello, viewers. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for daily updates on WWE Raw. The setup that nobody saw coming. Let me paint you the picture of what happened on SmackDown this past Friday, and trust me, by the time I'm done, you're going to be demanding answers from Triple H and the entire WWE creative team. The show is rolling along, right? We've got our usual segments, some decent matches, nothing particularly earth-shattering. Then, out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Now, for those keeping track, Brock hasn't been on our screens regularly since WrestleMania season, which already had people questioning his spot on the roster. But okay, the Beast is back, and the crowd is going nuclear because that's what happens when you're Brock Lesnar. He comes down to the ring with Paul Heyman by his side, classic Brock entrance. Heyman gets on the microphone and starts doing what he does best, hyping up his client, talking about how Brock is the most dominant force in WWE history, how nobody can touch him, the usual Heyman spectacular that we've heard 1,000 times. And honestly, the crowd is eating it up because Heyman could sell ice to an Eskimo, and Brock's presence is still undeniable. But here's where things get interesting, and by interesting, I mean absolutely insane. Heyman starts issuing an open challenge. He's saying that Brock Lesnar will face anyone on the SmackDown roster who has the guts to step up to the Beast Incarnate. And look, we've seen this before, right? Open challenges in WWE usually mean one of two things, either a surprise debut or a squash match to make the challenger look dominant. Nobody in that arena, nobody watching at home, nobody could have predicted what was about to happen next. The moment that changed everything. The lights go out. And I mean completely out. The arena is in total darkness for what feels like an eternity, but was probably only 5 or 6 seconds. Then, this thunderous music hits. Not a theme that most SmackDown viewers would recognize. Not a sound that casual WWE fans would have any familiarity whatsoever. And then, he appears on the stage. Oba Femi. 6'4", 285 pounds of pure, unfiltered, devastating power. The NXT North American Champion. The man who has been absolutely demolishing the NXT roster for months. The guy who makes grown men look like children in that ring. The most dominant force in NXT since Brock Lesnar himself terrorized everyone decades ago. But here's what has me absolutely livid, and this is where you need to pay attention because this is where WWE's disrespect becomes crystal clear. The commentary team had no idea who he was. Michael Cole, who has been with WWE for over 25 years, who calls NXT takeovers, who should know the current NXT champion, stumbles over his name like he's reading it off a cue card for the first time. Corey Graves tries to provide some context, but even he sounds uncertain, like he's not sure if he's allowed to put this guy over or not. This is exactly what's wrong with WWE's treatment of NXT stars. They build these incredible talents, create legitimate champions, develop characters that NXT fans are passionate about, and then when they bring them to the main roster, they treat them like nobodies, like they're starting from zero. It's disrespectful to the talent, it's disrespectful to NXT as a brand, and it's insulting to the fans who have been following these stars' journeys. The Staredown that stopped time. So Oba Femi walks down that ramp with a confidence that most rookies dream about having. He's not intimidated, he's not nervous, he's not playing up to the crowd. He's walking down to that ring like he owns the place, like he's been main eventing WrestleMania for years, like Brock Lesnar is just another name on his hit list. And Brock? Oh man, Brock's face is priceless. You can see it in his eyes, this mixture of confusion, intrigue, and maybe just a tiny bit of concern. Because Brock Lesnar doesn't know who this guy is. The most legitimate fighter in WWE history, the man who's faced everyone from Undertaker to Roman Reigns to John Cena, is staring across the ring at someone he's probably never even heard of?
Heyman is frantically trying to get information through his headset. You can literally see him mouthing, "Who is this guy?" to someone backstage. It's chaos, beautiful, unpredictable, absolutely captivating chaos. Oba Femi steps over the top rope. And let that sink in for a second. This man steps over the top rope like it's nothing. Just like Brock used to do, just like The Undertaker, just like Kane. This is a power move, a statement that says, "I belong in this ring with you." The stare down happens, face to face, eye to eye. Two absolute behemoths standing in the center of that ring. The crowd doesn't know whether to cheer or boo because they don't know Oba Femi yet. This is their introduction to him, and what an introduction it is. The clash that broke the internet. Paul Heyman, ever the politician, tries to de-escalate the situation. He's telling Oba that maybe he should go back to NXT, get a few more wins under his belt, prove himself there before stepping up to this level. And you can tell Heyman's trying to protect his client, because even he can see that Oba Femi is not your typical NXT call-up. But Oba? He doesn't say a word. He just smiles. This knowing, confident, almost predatory smile that says, "I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and you know it." Brock shoves Heyman aside and gets right in Oba's face. The intensity is through the roof. You could cut the tension with a knife. And then, Brock makes the mistake that might have just ended his aura of invincibility forever. He shoves Oba Femi. Not fard, just a get-out-of-my-ring kind of shove. The kind of shove that Brock has given to hundreds of superstars over the years. The kind of shove that usually results in that person getting F5'd into oblivion 30 seconds later. Except Oba doesn't budge, not even a little bit. Brock's expression changes immediately. You can see the surprise, the confusion. He tries again, putting more force into it this time. Oba still doesn't move. It's like trying to push over a brick wall. And then, Oba Femi strikes. The devastation nobody expected. What happens next needs to be shown in slow motion because it happens so fast that if you blinked, you missed the exact moment that Brock Lesnar's mystique got shattered into a million pieces. Oba grabs Brock by the throat. Grabs him by the throat. This is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. The man who suplexed John Cena 16 times? The man who conquered The Undertaker's streak? The man who ragdolled Rey Mysterio like a child? And Oba Femi just grabs him like he's picking up a bag of groceries? Brock tries to break the grip. He's throwing elbows, trying to hit a desperation German suplex, anything to get out of this position. But Oba's grip is iron. He lifts Brock Lesnar completely off the ground with one hand. The crowd is losing their minds because they've never seen anyone manhandle Brock like this. Never! And then comes the move that's going to be replayed for years to come. The chokeslam. But not just any chokeslam. A chokeslam so devastating with so much force behind it that when Brock's back hits that mat, the entire ring shakes. I'm talking about a chokeslam that would make The Undertaker jealous. A chokeslam that would make Kane say, "Okay, that was impressive." A chokeslam that literally echoed throughout the arena. Brock is down. The Beast Incarnate is laid out in the middle of the ring, and Oba Femi is standing over him like a conqueror over his defeated enemy. But, and this is huge, Oba doesn't go for a pin. He doesn't celebrate. He doesn't showboat. He just stares at Brock's fallen body with this cold, calculated expression that says, "This was never about beating you. This was about making a statement." The comeback that never came. Now, if you know Brock Lesnar, you know that he never stays down for long. We've seen him take multiple finishers and take out at 2. We've seen him get destroyed by championship scrambles and still walk out with the title. The man is built different, or at least we thought he was. Brock starts to get up. The crowd is roaring because they want to see him unleash that legendary comeback fury. They want to see the German suplexes. They want to see the F5. They want to see the Beast go absolutely berserk and destroy this newcomer. Except it doesn't happen. Brock gets to one knee, and Oba levels him with a running big boot that would make Big Show proud. Brock's head snaps back, and he's down again. The crowd is in shock. Some people are starting to boo, not because they don't like what they're seeing, but because they can't believe what they're seeing. Paul Heyman is on the outside, screaming at referees to come help his client. He's pulling his hair out, literally pulling his hair out, because his meal ticket, his greatest client, the man he's built his entire legacy around, is getting destroyed by someone nobody on the main roster even knows. Oba picks Brock up, picks him up like he weighs nothing, and delivers his signature powerbomb. But not just one. Oh no, we're talking about multiple powerbombs. 1, 2, 3 consecutive powerbombs, each one more devastating than the last. By the third one, Brock is completely limp, not even attempting to fight back anymore. The aftermath that has everyone talking. The referee is trying to step in. Other referees are rushing down to the ring. Backstage officials are pouring out because this has gone from a confrontation to a massacre. But Oba Femi, he calmly steps over the top rope again and walks back up the ramp with his NXT North American champion held high over his head. The camera cuts back to Brock, and folks, I've never seen Brock Lesnar like this. Ever. He's rolling around in pain. Paul Heyman is in the ring now, checking on him, looking absolutely devastated. Medical staff is surrounding him. This isn't kayfabe selling. This looks real. This looks like Brock actually got hurt. And then, the show goes to commercial. Just like that. No instant replay, no commentary analysis, no oh my god, what did we just witness moment. They're trying to minimize it. They're trying to pretend like it wasn't as big of a deal as it actually was. What? Are you kidding me? This is potentially the biggest upset in WWE history, and they treat it like a bathroom break? This is a moment that should be getting the full WWE treatment, graphics, replays from every angle, social media going crazy. But instead, they're trying to minimize it. They're trying to pretend like it wasn't as big of a deal as it actually was. Why this matters more than you think.